Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream. I'm going to do your July the 29th, just for today in a meditation. I greet you this morning. Hope you're doing well. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. The title of today's meditation is Expectations. As we realize our need to be forgiven, we tend to be more forgiving. That comes from the basic text, page 39. Our behavior toward other people in our life is a mirror of our behavior toward ourselves. When we demand perfection of ourselves, we come to demand it from others around us too. As we strive to repair and heal our lives in recovery, we may also expect others to work just as hard and to recover at the same pace as we do. And just as we are often unforgiving of our own mistakes, we shut out friends and families when they don't meet our expectations. Working the steps helps us understand our own limitations and our humanity. We come to see our failures as human mistakes. We realize that we will never be perfect, that we will at times disappoint ourselves and others. We hope for forgiveness. As we learn to gently accept ourselves, we can start to view others with the same accepting and tolerant heart. These people, too, are only human, trying to do their best and sometimes falling short. Just for today, I will treat others with the tolerance and forgiveness I seek for myself. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Wonderful. Expectations. And it's true. A lot of the times, the way that we are treating ourselves, right, or treating other people reflects exactly how we're treating ourselves. I always wonder when I see someone being short-tempered and demanding and judgmental with other people. So I wonder how they treat themselves or what they think about themselves, or usually they're parallel. A person that, generally speaking, not all the time, because you do have people that can be very, very tender and caring with other people, almost to a point where you think they're saintly, and then find out that they're super mean to themselves. Their ways of thinking about themselves don't correlate to how they treat other people. It is possible to have that be the case. So, but the majority of the time, the way that a person treats people outwardly is an indication of where they're at spiritually within. And oftentimes, when we're being difficult with other people and not forgiving, is an indication that there's something that we're struggling with internally and in forgiving ourselves. So one of the best things that I've learned, and this is just a little nugget, hopefully you can use, is that I try to be as introspective about my life as possible. Now, sometimes I can't take it, right? It's just too much consideration about how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, and I need to get out there and be functional, right? I don't sit around my house all day long thinking about woe is me or what's going on with me, right? I'm of service to the community in many ways. So that helps me get out of my head. However, when I have time to do the devotions, do the meditations, um, and consider where I'm at, my 10th step, for instance, I'm very introspective. When I'm short with my husband or short with the boys, which I try not to be because they have absolutely nothing to do with my schedule, right? My shortage of time, or maybe my poor time management. Now, they have a lot to do with when I'm trying to get these chores taken care of, right? But generally speaking, if I catch myself being short with them, I'll just remove myself from the situation so fast. I'll come into my office, I'll do some research, I'll do some reading. I become introspective because that is the worst thing I think in the world to do to a child or to anyone is to make them pay for your own poor management or your own negative self-talk, is to make a child or a spouse or those that are in your circle every day pay for something that is really your responsibility to handle. You see people, parents all the time, giving their kids such a hard time, right? Just riding them constantly, policing them, not allowing them to be children. You see it all the time. I call it parents that bully. You see it all the time. And usually it's because of something that is going on within them that they don't have control over, not because they can't. This isn't one of those serenity prayers, the wisdom to know the difference. This is something that they absolutely could take charge over and choose not to. And then they take it out on someone that is, in their mind, weaker. Yeah. So, one of the things when I'm being introspective is for me to process my emotions from the point of view of whether or not this is something that is from the past, trying to rear its ugly head back up into my here and now, right? Some poor performance message that is trying to come back up, or some relationship that went sideways that is trying to show itself again and tell me that I'm nothing and I'm not worth anything, right? Or am I trying to live vicariously through the boys and my husband, make sure that they are successful in the area that I failed in, right? So I'm projecting my own self resentment onto other people, right? Trying to make sure they get it right, stay on top of them, make sure they get it right, right? If that's the case, I'm done with it. If there's something that is unresolved within me, I go crickets on it. Other than to make an apology and let them know, hey, I need to see you for a second, babe. Can we talk for a second? I really didn't like how I came across, and I just realized that, man, I'm still dealing with a lack of self forgiveness. And that had absolutely nothing to do with you. That was not fair. I'm so sorry. You forgive me? And I do ask them that because I want them to know that they have the power to forgive themselves and the power to forgive others, right? And that it should not just be assumed that a person is going to forgive you, right? So that is how I personally look at things when I'm operating in a manner that I don't like, and it doesn't have to be with the people that I live with, it can be with anyone. If I'm operating in a manner I don't like, I make it introspective. I go to the source of what I perceive is probably the issue, my inability to process something. And it doesn't take all day to do. So I don't want to hear it. It does not take all day to do, but it does take a moment of silence, reflection. Okay. I hope that's helpful for you. Today, let's commit to treat others with tolerance and forgiveness that we seek, the type of tolerance and forgiveness that we seek for ourselves, and to make the world a much better place. Reminds me of that song, Make the World a Better Place. Yeah, that's what we're doing here by recovering. My name is Maggie Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you this morning. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. I'm looking forward to getting some household things taken care of, which anything I can do in my free time to make our lives better is worth it. Have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to talk to you tomorrow.